Dustin Poirier takes on Benoit St Denis in a 5-round co-main event at UFC 299 this weekend in Kaseya Center in Miami, Florida. And in this video, I'm going to cope. I'm going to cope very hard, and I'm going to try to make you cope as well into coping that Dustin Poirier is going to win this weekend. Yes, I've seen plenty of interviews. He has said he is going to retire if he loses. Any fight can be his last fight. However, I do not think that means he thinks he's going to lose. I'm going to overcope in this video and give you 10 reasons why Dustin Poirier is going to defeat Benoit St Denis this weekend. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let the cope begin with reason number 1. Dustin Poirier is going to defeat Benoit St Denis is the UFC experience. I mean, Dustin Poirier has 37 total fights. Benoit St Denis has 14. So right off the bat, so much experience. You look at how many fights they have in the UFC. Poirier has 29. Benoit St Denis has 6. And how many 5-rounders has Benoit St Denis fought in? Oh, I'll tell you. An exact 0. How many has Dustin Poirier fought in? Well, an infinite amount. The guy has headlined pay-per-view after pay-per-view dating all the way back to Eddie Alvarez, Max Holloway, Conor McGregor, you name it. He has fought the who's who of the UFC. And you think that some French slouch is just going to come in here and knock out Poirier? I don't think so. Reason number 2. This is a very slept-on reason. It's the shorts pull. So there is a mythical fighter that exists out there. His name is Shorts Pull Dustin Poirier. Whenever you see Dustin Poirier pull his shorts, like you see in this picture right here, you know that some shenanigans are about to go down. He's about to hit you with a left-right combo, bro. He's about to get you with the kick. He's about to get you with some uppercuts. He pulls those shorts up. It's game over. Does Benoit St Denis do that? Benoit St Denis does not do that. Clearly, you can see by the X, the guy never pulls his shorts up. What do we think is... Do we really think he's gonna... No. Shorts pull Dustin is the go. Next one. Okay, I understand back-to-back meme things, but the hair fixing. You see Dustin Poirier pull his shorts, you know he's about to knock you out. You see him fix his hair, you know he's about to come in and try to knock you out. Benoit St Denis, the guy has a buzz cut. He doesn't even have hair that you can play with. It doesn't flow around. Occasionally, like when he gets popped, you'll see sweat fly off it. But he's never fixing his hair. He's the same Benoit St Denis over the course of the whole fight. Dustin Poirier, he has 2 mythical fighters versions of himself that can exist in the cage. The hair fix Poirier and the shorts pull Poirier. You think Benoit St Denis can beat Poirier? Sure. But can he beat hair fix Poirier? Can he beat shorts pull Poirier? We're going to find out, but I believe not. Another reason I'm seeing a lot of people pick Benoit St Denis is because of the leg kicks. Because we just saw Dustin Poirier get knocked out by Justin Gaethje from a high leg kick. Oh, makes sense. Benoit St Denis just going to knock him out with a high leg kick. So the reason Benoit St Denis throws so many leg kicks is because he is a southpaw, and usually he's going up against an orthodox fighter. So when it's a righty versus a lefty, orthodox versus southpaw, the southpaw has a lot of entryway for the kick because it's very hard for the orthodox guy to block it. He has nothing to block it with. He has to just try to go like this. Dustin Poirier, however, is not orthodox. He's actually a southpaw. Yes, he switches stances often in the middle of a combination. Sometimes he'll go 1-2, and now all of a sudden now he's a southpaw. You go 1-2. Okay, now all of a sudden he's an orthodox. I think that Dustin is going to stray away from the orthodox stance, thus negating the leg kicks of St. Denis, and that is a prime reason a lot of people are picking this guy. So just throwing it out there. Another reason, do I even have to explain this one? Gas tank. Dustin Poirier has gone all 5 rounds in numerous fights. I put his highlight 5-round fight here against Dan Hooker. That was an utter banger that helped us through the pandemic. And then Benoit St Denis, the only gas tank that we've seen him is in his first fight against Elias Dos Santos. In that fight, he was getting pieced the F up, and the fight should have been called a round 2. It was a standing KO. The guy was completely gassed. We look at the Thiago Moises fight. He was beating Thiago Moises, yes, but he was insanely gassed. And if round 2 ended before the referee stepped in for a stoppage, that 3rd round could have been very questionable for St Denis. He was insanely out of breath. We look at other fights from St Denis over the course of his career. A lot of them, he's gassed. Why? Because he just tries to get the finish as early as possible. This is a 5-round fight, guys. So one thing has to change. Either St. Denis is going to go out there and change his style, not try to hunt the finish early, or he is and he's going to gas himself. Either way, whatever version of St. Denis we see, I don't think is going to be able to finish Poirier, and I don't think he's going to be able to outlast Poirier if he changes his style up. Okay, another reason I see people picking St. Denis is because of grappling. So people say Poirier, he just gives up his back so easily, St. Denis is going to have no problem getting it. Well, he's only been submitted 3 times in his entire career. One of them was at featherweight to the Korean Zombie very early in Dustin Poirier's career. The other 2 were to the best grapplers in lightweight history. Khabib got a rear naked choke on him, and Oliveira got a standing rear naked choke on him. Do you think St. Denis is going to have the same success as the 2 best grapplers in lightweight history? I'm seeing a lot of people think that, and I can't get there. Especially against Khabib, Poirier almost locked in a guillotine against him, had it cinched in. He even admitted, like, he thought it was good, and Khabib even admitted if Poirier held it in for a couple more seconds, he might have passed out right in front of Abdul Manap, his father. His father was right there. If you look at the screenshot, his father's right there. So all I'm saying is Poirier has good grappling of his own, and I don't think St. Denis is just gonna, ragdoll him like a lot of people are saying. That's just my take. This is one of the main reasons I'm picking my guy Poirier. He has never lost twice in a row in his entire career. I just took a small grab of Tapology, but if you look through the entire Tapology, not once does he lose twice in a row. Even when he lost to McGregor all those years ago, he was on a win streak, and he got a win right after that knockout loss to McGregor. We look at St. Denis, yes, he's never lost twice in a row either, but this guy's a prospect, up and coming. He's due for a fraud check. We're going to ignore that. We're looking at Poirier. Has he lost twice in a row in his career? No, he has not. Okay, another reason I think people are picking St. Denis is because we just saw Poirier get knocked out not too long ago, about 10 or 9 months ago, last July in Utah against Justin Gaethje. He ate a savage head kick and went to sleep. So we've seen Poirier hurt recently, so a lot of people have recency bias and are choosing to think that St. Denis is going to deal with Poirier the same way Gaethje did. Well, number one, St. Denis is not Justin Gaethje. Let's just get that out of the way. And number 2, we've also seen St. Denis hurt in a very similar way. Yes, it was a couple years ago at a different weight class. The picture I'm showing is that. But we still saw him get hurt. He's not invincible. He doesn't have the Khabib aura that, Poirier had to deal with going into that fight. He doesn't have the Oliveira aura, where Oliveira is just starching people in round 1, and Poirier, that's what he was heading into that. There's no aura for St. Denis like that. We've seen him already cracked. We've seen him hurt. Now, backtracking, yes, we saw Oliveira hurt too, but he was also like a new Oliveira. Anyways, we have seen both of them hurt. I don't know why we're like, oh, Poirier got hurt. Yes, maybe he's like 35, the age thing. I can see that being a reason. But still, we're putting too much stock into that Poirier got knocked out recently. It was a head kick. That doesn't happen often. And it wasn't like he took a lot of damage in that fight. It was just a one-strike KO. I'm just saying. Another reason I'm picking Poirier is simply the type of fighter he is. He likes to stand in the pocket and bang. He doesn't really utilize a lot of body kicks like that. He does have good calf kicks. We saw it in the McGregor fight. He's the one that basically promoted calf kicks when he fought McGregor in that pandemic special pay-per-view, and he knocked him out. The only reason he knocked out McGregor in that fight is because McGregor couldn't move anymore. He was just peppering him up with calf kicks. What type of fighter is St. Denis? He's just going to spam you with body kicks until you put your hands down. He's going to spam you with head kicks. If that doesn't work, he's going to try to grapple you and get to the ground, try to get your back, land some good punches on the ground. I think Poirier can offset all of that. If he comes out in a southpaw stance, St. Denis is not throwing as many leg kicks as you'd think. And if he comes in a southpaw stance, it might be easier for St. Denis to get a single leg takedown because their legs are right next to each other in a southpaw stance. But I do not think he's going to have the same grappling success that he's had with the other fighters he's fought so far. If he utilized grappling against Frivola, I might be singing a different tune. He did knock him out very early. Frivola was his best test to date, so we don't really know a lot. But I think the type of fighter Poirier is, he's a dog. He's not going to quit. And the only scenario I see St. Denis really winning is just catching Poirier with a random knockout. I do not see him submitting Poirier. I'm going to say it right here, right now. St. Denis' BJJ is not up to the level of Oliveira and Khabib, and those are the only people that were able to submit Dustin Poirier. Even Michael Chandler tried. He was unsuccessful. So I'm just saying. And last but not least, let's look at the recent resumes of both fighters. Let's look at St Denis first. We got Matt Frivola, Thiago Moises, Ismael Bonfim, Gabriel Miranda, Nicholas Stolze, and he lost to Elizu Zaleski dos Santos. All pretty good wins. Matt Frivola was on the cusp of getting the rankings. Thiago Moises was the gatekeeper of the lightweight rankings for a while. Ismael Bonfim, I am 99% certain St Denis was an underdog in that fight, and Bonfim was also an up-and-coming prospect, and he handled him in round 1. Gabriel Miranda and Nicholas Stolze, just people lurking on the UFC roster that St Denis was able to take care of cleanly. We look at Poirier's recent resume. A Justin Gaethje head kick, not the best. Michael Chandler sub in round 3. He debatably was losing that fight up until then. A Charles Oliveira rear naked choke. Okay, he debatably won a round before that. 2 fights against McGregor, who is a senior citizen. A 5-round war with Dan Hooker, and, you know, he could have debatably... It was debatably 2-2 heading into round 5, so he really had to give it his all in round 5 to win that one. And then a loss to Khabib. Now that I think about it, I'm looking at these resumes, I'm getting a little worried for Poirier. Yes, he beat Michael Chandler, but like if Michael Chandler fights like he's supposed to, he would have won that. And his only other notable wins are McGregor twice, and one of them was a first-round leg injury, and the other one, McGregor's coming back off a long layoff. I'm starting to get a little scared, guys. Thank you for getting to the end of another episode of Finn's Chats. Make sure you follow me on the gram. Link is in the bio. Make sure you follow me on Twitter/X. That is also in the bio. And, you know, make sure you just like and subscribe. I'm going to try to post as many videos as possible. Get that subscriber count up. We're trying to hit 1,000 by UFC 300. We're trying to hit 800 by the next UFC card. So hit that button and make sure you have a great rest of your day. You savage.